going to show us their update to his Deskbot deck. We saw a few requests in the comment section, so we decided to bring it to you guys.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this deck hasn't changed like much, if any, since the last one. I haven't really watched the last one in a while, so there's just not much that's changed, but I was requested an updated version, so there it is, guys. Alright, so main deck first. Of course, the 1001, the tuner of the deck, special summons itself from the grave and can get up to a good 4,000 attack, depending how, and 3,500 by itself if you have other monsters on the field that aren't boosting it, but it can get a lot higher, so sometimes this is a game winner, sometimes it's just a tuner to go into most of your deck. Plus, link material, it's always a beautiful thing. Alright, next, 3 of the Searcher. 002. Whenever this card is special summoned, you get to add a Deskbot card from your deck to your hand, and each machine-type monster on your side of the field gains 500. That includes your Infinity. That is so damn helpful. You have no clue. Alright, there's not much more to say about this other than it's your main Searcher. You don't really want to see too much of it in your hand unless you got your scales up. The next big guy that you always want to see in your opening hand is 003. On normal summon with this one, you get to add any Deskbot, you get a special summon any Deskbot monster from your deck onto your field, which you can special summon 2, get the search off that, or you can special summon 5, and whatever the hell you really want to go into with this thing. If you need a tuner, you got stuff on the field, he's pretty much a problem solver. You want to see him as often as possible. He's just incredibly helpful. Next, the other one you want to see in your hand, not as much as you want to see 3, because 3 can grab him right away, but 4, pretty much the utopia of this deck, minus the you don't get monster effects. This guy can put himself up to 5k attack when he's alone on the field by dumping a 009. And he's good for special summoning things out of hand or engrave after he destroys something, so the only downside is that after he activates his effect, your opponent takes no more battle damage this turn. That's about it. Next, 3005, your MST of the deck, plus he's also your enabler to go into Infinity, which is, with this build, really freaking easy. Next, 006, combos off well with Infinity, that, and I'm kind of trying to keep the scales even, so 4 and 4. He's mainly a scale. Do I even have a rank 6 in this one? I don't believe I do. No, I'm not running a rank 6 besides Infinity. Oh, no. I have number 39 Utopia Beyond in this deck, which can really help you OTK like no fucking tomorrow. It's a beautiful thing. Next, 1007, 1008, your Piercer and your double attacker. This one helps you get a little bit more board control, and, well, if you boost this guy up to astronomical amounts, which each of their attacks go up by 500 for every Deskbot card in the grave, this piercing ability comes in handy a lot when your opponent's on the defensive, and this one just helps you clear out board and gains the 500 for every engrave as well. So they're both helpful, plus it keeps the scales at 4 for each. And then 1009. Pretty much the only time you ever go into this card and don't shuffle it back in with base is when you are going for game or you want them to stop activating battle effects, which in this Scrub League there is a lot of those and they get really fucking annoying, so I go into him a lot more than I thought I ever would. But he still is useful in the deck. He's part of the main Deskbot combo to get a freaking giant ass beater on board in OTK. But that's it for all the Deskbot monsters. On to the non-Deskbot monsters. Run the Symphonic engine. Just enables Infinity a lot easier. The 7 scale really doesn't hurt, seeing as how you only have 3 monsters that you can't summon off that. I like it because I like this over Brilliant because this one ditches from hand, and there's a lot of cards in this deck that I prefer to ditch with, and I don't want to run the Garnet. Yeah, that, and I'm budget, so there you go. Next, Gen X Alley Birdman. I love freaking normal summoning a 003 and then bringing out a 005 and then getting rid of the 3, bring this on the board, and there you go. You got your fucking turn 1 level 8, which in this deck you can go into Omega, Ignister, and well, that's about it, but still fun. That, and you get 003 back in hand, which is if you had gotten out him, you get a re-normal summon 005, so I mean re-normal summon 003. So it can combo off pretty decently. I like it. I'm probably going to keep it in here. Not going to lie. Next, Blow Up Bulb. Love this card. If you can ditch it to grave in whatever way, normal summon it, sync her off into your level 6 with 005, and then sync her up into level 7. You still get your free draw, plus you get a board nuke. I see no downsides. Hand traps are one of the 2 Ghost Ogres and the 2 Ash Blossoms. This is probably the most expensive card in this deck right now. I put out the money for it. Not regretting it yet. And these guys are just in my collection for the longest time. Alright, that's it for the monsters. There are no traps in this deck, there's just spells. 2 Deskbot base. It's pretty much a free magical mallet, powers up your monsters, and if you can ever get that last effect off to just pretty much shuffle everything your opponent has besides their banish pile, go for it. I don't care if it's at a losing standpoint at that point. Go for it. It's fucking funny. I've only pulled that off twice. 3 machine dupes. You really want to see this card early on, so you are maxing out. Worst case scenario, you can use some of your discard fodder in this deck for it. And it is also a good comeback card because you can go off on plays pretty quickly. Even if you don't got the main OTK, you can still get into an infinity with this. You can go into this, you can go into this. This card is still a combo extender, and that's why I run it at 3. Sometimes it is dead, sometimes I want to get rid of it because, yeah, but still run it. 2 Cosmic Cyclones, because there are a lot of cards that you don't want in the grave. There are a lot of cards you don't want in grave. This gets rid of that problem. This is what saves that. Limiter removal, you're going for game if you're playing this. Or you are so desperate not to die that turn, you're playing this, and then you hopefully build board next turn. This is a game card. Reasoning, you're running 9 different levels. That's a 1 out of 9 chance that your opponent's going to call correctly. It's worth running. Free monsters. Monster Reborn. I don't think I have to explain this card. Todd, do I have to explain this card?
No.
Okay. Upstart. Playing a 39 card deck, you want as much consistency in Deskbots as you possibly can because, once again, you're running 9 different levels. So, yeah. Having that extra draw, they're not going to be keeping that 1,000 life points for very long. At least hopefully. Alright, that's all for the main deck. On to the extra deck. Of course, you run the 1 Nat Beast. You're freely negating spells. If you got freaking Mrs. Radion Field, it's a 2700 beater. And it's definitely worth it. You have more than enough cards in your deck you can happily get rid of. And if you're lucky, like I have been, you might discard enough Deskbot cards to use the field spell's second effect. Done that once. Best feeling ever. Next, recently added card, Stars Charge Warrior. I mainly use him for just going up in levels. I mean, he's level 6. There's not really much you can do with him at that point, but he is still helpful, so I keep him in there for the free draw. That and, hey, you can attack a bunch of times. This is an aggro deck. You like attacking. Black Rose, because sometimes you really, really need to nuke the board. That and his effect actually becomes live for the plants if you got Glow Up Bulb Engrave. Oh god, you know you're desperate if you're going for Glow Up Bulb. But yeah, so just board nuke. That's pretty much it. You only go into him when you are really, really hurting. Omega, because ripping 1 card out of your opponent's hand and getting back some banished cards, always fun. Plus, it's a 2800 body that brings shit back from your graveyard. Why not? Ignister, mainly blow up your own scales and for the shuffle. 005 and 006 got effects when they blow up, so he is helpful to get off their effects, and you can go into them fairly easily because this is a pendulum deck.
What are the problems?
Trishula, as much as I wanted to pull Trish out of here, I just can't force myself to do it.
What is the card?
Those 3 banishes are always fun, and just the looks on people's faces when you pull this off, they're not even mad at that point. They just like seeing Trish. And then this is a Deskbot deck, so you want to run the 1 Jet. This card can get up to insane attacks, and it helps you fix your board, pop your opponent's board. It's a decent card. It's a free Scrap Dragon, pretty much. Onto the Xyz. Sky Centuria. I just like this card because of the fact of, okay, let's just keep bouncing stuff for my level 2s that are really fucking weak. It's funny. I love it. Your Searcher, Gear Geigen. Don't really gotta say much about that. You search anything that's level 4 or lower. So you can search out your freaking mics, no guitar. So you can bring out your mics if you need to. You can search out a 3. You can search out a 4. Just whatever you need. And then of course the Infinity package, because these are machines. There are level 5s. You're running the Infinity package. And then the newest one I like in here. Utopia Beyond, just in case you're going in with those level 6s. Well, guess what? All your bonus monsters become 0, and detach 1, and 1 extra Z monster control. You don't use that. I lied. You don't use that. You don't ever have any other number monsters. And then for links, Mrs. Radiant, because it's an Earth deck. Cleafort, because it's a machine deck. And Decode, just for when you need to get stuff off your field and still want your pointers out. So I don't really have a side deck put together for this one yet because I've been kind of focusing on other decks and, well, life. I still find this deck really fun to play, and if you're a budget player, you can swap out the hand traps for other things. I had Kaijus in there for a while, not gonna lie. But yeah, so anything that's too expensive is easily switched out. This deck doesn't need its extra deck, although it is really helpful to go into the extra deck. But it's filled with negates, it's a good aggro deck. I recommend running it for anybody who wants to surprise anybody at their scrub leagues. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. Peace out.